Hi everybody, you join me today at the ceiling. This cupboard here has got 3 shelves. It's a narrow cupboard set into a wall and it's full of records because as collectors we like to fill up every space we possibly can. I'm standing precariously on a table which is covered in clutter and all sorts of stuff, just to bring you another joyful experience of a random record video. I'm probably outlasting my welcome and probably all sick to death of these already. And I've only done 2. I'm just uploading videos every day for your satisfaction and to stay the boredom. Anyway, here we go. Let's have a look at some of these. Ligeti, showing us adventures, atmosphere, wonderful stuff. I've got his entire works on CD where he actually, all the things that he conducted himself, all his own works. Amazing stuff. Walt Dixon Quartet, Impressions of a Patch of Blue. Wonderful record this. What does it say on the back here? It's a subtle blending of his many talents, impeccable musicianship, etc, etc. This is a fantastic record from start to finish. Beautiful album. Surely this could sit alongside it. Juicy Fruit, Disco Freak, Isaac Hayes. There he is with the girls, with a banana in his mouth. Alice's Restaurant, Side 2, Chilling of the Evening, and Highway in the Wind. Beautiful songs, bookending a rather kind of patchy side otherwise. Robert Wyatt's Old Rotten Hat. These are all originals. Can't open it because I've only got one hand free. For me, it's one of his best albums. Probably, yeah, maybe my second favourite even. Yeah. Consistency anyway. Shooting at the Moon, Kevin Ayers and the Whole World. This is a BGO LP I bought in 1990, 89 maybe. Lovely stuff. This is completely waxed. This is way out there, and I love the intensity of the sound and also the kind of charming, mellifluous quality of some of the music and his voice. And then you've got this incredible incendiary guitar and avant-garde cut-ups and all sorts going on. Brilliant album. Which this one isn't. I haven't listened to this all the way through since I bought it about in 1990. Just, I don't know what he was thinking really. Another Haze, theme from Shaft. Can anyone go wrong with that album? More Ligeti. This is a little bit consistent, isn't it, for me? 2001, Space Odyssey. Some of the most intense music from Ligeti. Lux Eterna and Requiem. They are mind-blowing pieces of music. The fact that man created that out of his mind just astonishes me sometimes. What flipped over there? American Woman, I guess, who never play it. I don't really like the track American Woman, which occasionally comes out. Hogwash, this is where they start losing it really, where he started faffing about with effects and lost the gritty, dirty, crunching guitar sound he had up to that point. Rockabilly Psychosis and the Garage Disease. Phantom and Love Me, the Novas, the Cramps, the Sonics, the Gun Club, Stingrays, a bit of everything there. Come Taste the Band. This is the original US. I've got the UK somewhere. I may have sold, I don't know, many moons ago. I think Bolin's his playing on this is phenomenal. I do like a couple of the tracks on here, particularly Getting Tighter. I think Drift is good. But Getting Tighter was the one for me. It's so funky. Silver Apples of the Moon, Morton Subotnick. Famous album. I wonder how many people actually listen to it though. I don't think I've listened to it all the way through for a long time. years. Wild Bull, this is a better work for me, the follow-up. Obviously electronic compositions, or these two albums, and there's lots of bleeping and whirring and this sort of stuff you'd expect from the time, really. But that particular one is really engaging, and there's so many there's a real dynamism to that. Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. This is only in there. I think I bought it, wanted to see what it sounded like. So occasionally you read reviews, don't you, and people say, oh, it's really good, or you hear people say stuff on the VC. And I saw this for £1 in a charity shop, and I thought, well, I'll give it a go. I can understand that there's some really competent and beautiful songwriting there. Not for me all the time, though, but there are some nice tracks. I'm hitting my arm on the door. I've got my head against there's a wall here, look. Supertramp, First. This is actually one of those albums that, some really nice stuff on it. It's a 12-minute track, Try Again, but it's one of those that doesn't seem to be memorable. Once you've played it, you think, what did I just hear? I think it gets overlooked as a result of that. Long Riders, another charity shop thing. Not for me, really. A bit too country tinged, Steppenwell's First. This is stereo, of course, emblazoned across the top there. A couple of our singles I've got which are mono, and it's nice to hear a different mix. Again, fiery guitar on that. And I love the Hammond organ in that band. They are so get underrated and overlooked, I think, because they're kind of cheap, easy to find. Although that's becoming harder, and yet the quality of it, and much better than a lot of other bands of that time. Ultravox. Have I ever played that? I don't think I've ever played that. Surprise, surprise. Residence, not available. For me, one of their best. Don't have many, actually, on vinyl. Secret Affair, Glory Boys, got a couple of these. Classic kind of mod sound. You can see the guys there, what a look. You know what you're going to get. Nirvana's Bleach original. A friend bought a copy of this when it first came out. We were at a party, and there's a really lame party. Everyone's getting stoned, the usual stuff. But it was just a bit lame. There were people we didn't really know. So he brought this record and said, come upstairs. There's a stereo upstairs. Man alive, I remember that. We just put that on, just like, wow, air guitar and headbanged our way through the entire thing. It's like nothing else at the time. It's so powerful. Even now, it still sounds like nothing else, really. You might argue Mudhoney and things are kind of, no, this is just so dense and heavy sounding. Kevin Ayers' Banana Moore. For me, Don't Let It Get You Down is just a beautiful song. But it's that period, 1973, where music, keyboards and things start to get a little bit cheesy sounding to my ear. The same happened with Caravan and stuff. And they sound more dated than some of the stuff from a couple of years prior as a result. They don't necessarily work so well. But that just made me. Atomic Rooster, Home to Roost, nice double comp there. I'd love to get that first album without guitar. There's 2 mixes of that. I remember walking into my friend's living room once, and his brother and his friend were in there listening to that. And they were just stoned out of their faces, but it was just like one of those ear-catching moments, like, wow, what is this? And I loved it because it was so stripped back. Wonderful stuff. A few things are falling down here. Janis Joplin, Quadraphonic Pearl. I had Quad for a time, but there are only so many albums you can buy, and it becomes a little bit of a pointless exercise. It didn't always necessarily sound, you imagine the 4 different sounds, but actually there's a lot of 2 speakers forward, 2 back, and show a couple more before these all go falling everywhere. Deep Purple, live in the USA. Deep in Detroit, 11th of the 3rd, 85. I think you can see this gig actually on YouTube now. Wonderful guitar playing. The guitar leaps out with this. This is what you expect a bootleg mix of the time. I bought it in 1986. Stunning guitar work. You just hear how great Richie Blackmore is on this album. Just blows everyone away. Incredible sound on that. Tenor Conclave. This is of his reissue, original jazz classic, with these big names, very straight ahead. You know, Red Garland is on here, Art Taylor, Paul Chambers. These are big names, and it's a lovely record. But it's not, you know, it's not necessarily going to set the world alight, but it's a lovely thing. Rock Bottom. I've got two of these. My first, this got a scratch on the first track, C song, which causes a click. But you know, it's my first copy of it, and it's kind of sometimes you hear the other one, you're kind of waiting for the clicks, you know. But there's nothing to say about that apart from sublime. And if you have never heard it, which I very much doubt anyone watching this has not, go and hear it. It will change your world. Easily one of my favourite albums. Last Concert in Japan with Tommy Bolin there before he died, not long before he died. There's hardly any guitar on this because he was just out of his face on heroin, completely unable to do much until his own tracks came up. When you hear Wild Dogs, suddenly his guitar comes forward and he plays every note with, and you can see that, you know, he's a heartfelt guitarist, a passionate man, and he felt every note, and you can feel it yourself when you hear that. These are actually fairly consistent, matching Mole, with Oh Caroline and Signed Curtain being the only lyrics on there. And again, there's that slightly cheesier sound with Part of a Dance from Miller, the keyboard sound, 1972, late 72, on one of the tracks. But again, what you expect is some quality music from very, very competent and skilled musicians. But it has a kind of frivolity and a sort of Englishness to it, which is maybe renders it slightly lightweight compared to other prog. I don't really consider this a prog album at all. It's sort of halfway between that and halfway between English whimsy and eccentric. It's difficult to define. Anyway, that'll probably do. My hands aching. There's only a few others can. You know, Jimi Hendrix there. I'm not going to pull out the Queen albums. Anyway, that's it, and I'll see you all later.